It's crackling. I don't need the crackling. Hold on. Okay. I can do this. It feels so strange to be talking in front of a camera again. Like, it's been so long. But hi, it's Morgan D. And today's video. And today I'm going to be talking all about my skin disease and my scars that people have noticed in past videos. The reason why I put quotes around skin disease is because I just don't like to call it that. Skin condition, that sounds better. But yes, I'm going to be talking all about my scars. Ooh, I'm still a little insecure about them, not to the point where it's like hindering me from doing anything or wearing anything, but I think because I forget that they're there, and when people ask about it, it kind of makes me feel weird because it's like, and then there's this long story. So that's why I'm making this video, telling you guys about it. And if you see in the comments in the future anyone asking about my scars, just link them to this video. Especially if I grow and I get new subscribers, people are gonna wonder, they're gonna want to know, like, what's going on all up in there? What is that? Is that hair? What is it? Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit to December 2012, and that's when I noticed I had a painful lump underneath my skin in my armpit area, like right underneath. At first I was like, okay, ow, but I didn't really think much of it because I've had ingrown hairs before and they hurt, but they go away. They eventually work themselves out. But I just remember it being around Christmas time and I was at my grandparents' house and I noticed this pain and it was really bad, and I noticed it was not going away. And I remember distinctly one time when I went, and mind you, this is back when I was living in Texas. I wasn't in LA yet. But I was at a friend's house and we were all like playing, I don't know, tag or something. I don't remember what happened. And my friend like pulled my arm and I fell to the ground. It was so very pain. So much pain was happening at that moment. So going into 2013, all that was kind of a blur. I just remember the pain not going away and it was starting to swell. It was so bad to where I couldn't even put my arm down all the way. Like my arm was sticking out like this, because it was just so engorged with pain. I don't know. Now before that, I had not gone to the doctor yet because I just still thought it was an ingrown hair. Don't know why I waited so long, but again, it's all a blur, so I don't know exactly like the steps I took before going to the doctor, but I do remember Googling stuff saying how to fix an ingrown hair, because at that time that's still what I thought it was. And so I remember they said put hot towels on it. So I remember taking towels, soaking them in water and microwaving them and putting them underneath my arm and like sleeping like that and just sitting. I was like, I want this gone, this hurts so much. Obviously that didn't work because this would be a very short video and a very pointless story. So I finally went to the doctor. I remember them not understanding what was going on because my arm was like this and I'm like, ow, this hurts a lot. And I remember walking in with my swollen armpit and they're like, looking at each other. I don't know. So they gave me stuff for pain, but that's all they could really do until I got some tests done because they didn't know what it was. So I was a 21-year-old girl with this huge swollen thing. It's not an ingrown hair. They're like, and it hurts a lot. And they didn't know what it was. So I remember I had to go get ultrasounds, which usually is what you get for when you're pregnant. That was so funny when I told my dad, hey, I'm getting an ultrasound. Imagine his surprise. It's a boy. Anyway, so I remember going in to the ultrasound place and they put that gunk on my arm and moved the thing around trying to look for a baby, I guess, in there. And they couldn't find anything. I guess they're looking for a mass or something. Hopefully there wasn't like tumor or anything in there, which is kind of scary because they were telling me all that stuff and I was like, this is freaking me out. They were just kind of looking, didn't see anything. So that's when they were like, oh, it's just fluid. Which at the time, you know, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what to do. So I just said, oh, okay, it's just fluid. At least they know what's wrong with me. So since they believe it was just fluid all up in here, they set me an appointment to have a procedure done to drain the fluid, which sounded great to me. I was like, hey, I'll just be asleep. They're gonna drain it. I'll wake up and feel better. Yay, end of all my problems. No, honey, this is the problem. Your problems are just beginning. This is just the beginning. I remember going into the surgery, coming out. I remember the surgeon came in after I had woken up, and I remember vividly waking up to my mom feeding me a sandwich. I guess I was like sleep eating, which will probably explain why I wake up every morning, my fridge is open. So the surgeon came in and he was like, yeah, we drained your arm, but there was like no fluid in there. So we only got like a couple droplets worth. And I'm like, why, what? He's like, so let us know if you have any updates. He sent me on my way, which was a little confusing, but maybe I don't know, maybe I thought a miracle happened and there was no fluid and then I'd just be better. So I remember getting home, and this part's kind of a blur as well, and I kind of wish I had pictures, not to show you, but to kind of jog my memory. But usually, at least to my knowledge, when you drain something out of someone, I think you're supposed to leave a drip so that it can continue to drain, which is kind of like a tube connected to the hole that collects in like this little orb that you empty, and I think so that it can continue to drain naturally. Basically what I'm trying to say is the doctor messed me up, because a few weeks later I noticed on my arm right here, right where this scar is, it was black and purple and blue, and I remember it hurt so badly. So it moved from my armpit to my arm. It was rock hard and painful to touch, but that wasn't even the worst of the pain. I'm not even there yet. That turned into this sack on top of my skin, like a mini water balloon on my arm, but filled with disgustingness. The color, it was like green. I'm not even joking, it was green. And so that was gorgeous. And then that one day burst, creating an open wound on my skin, just about this big, right here on my skin, an open wound. That is the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. An open wound, you could just see. I do still have pictures of that. I went back to my actual doctor. They were like scratching their heads when I first went in. Now they're like, what is happening? I was like, that's my question. You shouldn't be asking me that. I need to ask you that. So basically what they believe happened is that he drained the non-existent fluid, but there was still a little bit of fluid in there, not as much as they thought. They thought all of the swollenness was fluid, but it wasn't. It created an infection in my arm, which basically ate away at my skin. And that happened early to mid 2013. So that was the worst and hardest summer. I didn't leave my house. I never wanted to go out and do anything. I was on so many medications, so many pain meds, antibiotics, so much stuff. I did not feel like myself at all. And I stopped YouTube because of it. That's why there's like a big gap from videos, because I didn't make videos at the whole time. I missed it so much, but I couldn't. I remember 2013 was kind of the year that everyone blew up, like YouTube changed and everyone moved forward, and I felt like I was left behind, which I guess technically I was. I don't see it that way anymore. I mean, everything, but I truly fully believe that everything happens for a reason. I'm not talking bad about anybody. It just hurts a lot that I did lose friends because I wasn't able to be as active online during that time. I had this open wound that had to be taken care of constantly. It had to be cleaned. It had to, and if you ever have an open wound and touching it, even the air hitting it, and it was scary because I didn't know what was wrong with me. They thought I had like some kind of flesh-eating bacteria in me. When it first happened, it was smaller, then it got big, and then it healed. But can you imagine, like, you feel it's getting like bigger? And I remember hanging out with my friends one time, and one of my guy friends, he said, Morgan, you're not as like crazy and as weird as you used to be. I just remember that like crushed my spirit so much because I didn't feel like going out anyway. And it just really hurt my feelings because I'm like, I'm trying and I know I don't feel like myself. And he didn't mean to hurt my feelings. I just remember it did deeply because I was like, I know, but I couldn't change it because of the pain I was in and the medications I was on. I guess he just didn't really get it. So that basically took the better half of the year to heal. And I didn't move my arm at all. So I had no range of motion. I couldn't lift it up. I couldn't lift it back. I couldn't swing it around. I couldn't do anything. I had to go to physical therapy because I needed to be able to use my arm again. I couldn't move it because I kept it so close to my body for months and months and months. Okay, so after my physical therapy, I was able to move my arm again. It was all great. I was like, hey, my life seems pretty back to normal. There's no more swelling. My wound is healed. I'm feeling better. Fast forward to like, I'd say March, April of 2014, the pain comes back in the armpit. So this scar has healed, this wound has healed, but the pain in my armpit has come back. So it obviously wasn't fixed, which was devastating to feel that pain again and to recognize that pain. I remember I was at my grandparents' house again. I honestly believe that it was a blessing that I was in my grandparents' city, because I wasn't able to go to my normal doctor. I had to go to the doctor my grandparents go to where they live. This is a really small town. How are they gonna know what this is? Turns out they have a specialist in the skin condition I have, which I just noticed I never said. The skin condition is called hidradenitis suppurativa. You can look it up, but if you're too lazy, basically what it is, it like causes painful lumps underneath the skin, and it's usually in places like armpit. Some people have gotten it on their face, and some people have gotten it in their groin area, which if I had to pick, not sounding so bad, right? I met with a surgeon at the hospital, and he specializes in this, and he knows what it is and how to take care of it, which is crazy because I went through a whole year of hell in Texas and no one knew what it was. But here I come to this little small town and this guy's like, oh, I'm a specialist in that, I'll fix you right up. So that was amazing. So fast forward a little bit more, I got another surgery, and this one was a little bit more invasive, and I was a little bit more scared because what they did was they went into my armpit, took out, I guess, the lump, I don't know, and they took out my sweat glands. The scarring, it goes like kind of like that. There are obviously crazier and worse surgeries out there, but for me that was really intimidating and I was really scared, but obviously it turned out fine. I mean, I'm sitting here. So even though I had that surgery done and I had these scars, there's some benefits to it, like I don't sweat underneath this arm anymore, and I don't grow hair underneath this one. So my razors last longer because I only have to use it half as often. Yeah, so those scars from that healed up, and I haven't felt any pain since. The only thing is that I still haven't regained feeling kind of in my arm. It's like the back all in here is still pretty numb, which is so weird to me. And he's like, yeah, that probably won't ever go back to normal. So, okay. I still kind of have psychological issues with like touching the inside of my arm and my armpit, like touching right there. It's just associated with extreme pain. Even though it's roughly about 2 to 3 years later, I don't know. I felt ugly. I felt just so sad all the time and always in pain, and I didn't have much of an appetite, and it was just kind of, it wasn't me at all. It was not me. I remember that summer I got to spend so much time with my mom. That helped keep me going. Why am I gonna cry? She was like a rock for me in that moment, so thank you, mommy. It as a blessing now because I've learned, I've grown so much. I love YouTube too much to care about fake internet friends and numbers and money. I just have loved making videos, and of course I want it to grow and I want it to be successful. I've gone through too much to give up on it because of people that didn't care about me, like subscribers, and no, I love making videos. It's just more motivation for me. So I think that's it. I love my scars, so it's just kind of like a reminder, strong. So all summed up, these scars are from 2 surgeries that I've had because of my skin disease, hidradenitis suppurativa. I pray that I stay healthy and I don't have to go through that again, and I can just keep on doing my thing. I hope this helped you in any way. I don't know how to end this, but thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and all of my social media links will be in the description, and you guys will see me in my next video. Bye. Oh no, stop, I need to hit the gym. Bye.